A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, hello.
The dial, traveling at a speed at 33 1/3 RPMs. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm one of your hosts, Ferris Kennedy, and in the studio with me, as always, a man who's a huge fan of Hank Marvin.
Dr. Ian Clarke. Huge. I know, Mr. Marvin. Great guitar player. Good for you.
Hank Marvin is one of Dr. Clarke's pride and joy of guitarists.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Still around.
And for those of you, we'd like to welcome you to Season 11 of the show. You've probably already heard our opening part of the season with Sears Rock Talk Crime, the Janis Joplin. I knew
That's
a girl
true.
that used to sing the blues.
Yep.
And there was obviously a Kennedy's Corner that followed right after, where I discussed the Junos and how sad I was that I wasted 2 hours and change of my time.
Bet you'll never get back.
I'll never get back. But here we are, third episode of the season, and the man next to me is going to guide us into it. What are we doing today?
Well, today, let's have some fun with one of the infamous lists put out by Rolling Stone magazine. I know I rag on about these lists, but okay. This is from 2011. If you don't take this stuff too seriously, it has a certain appeal. This list is really about influence. And for the listeners out there who've been with us for a while, I'm big on influencers. I don't mean social media. I mean the real core guys. Bands and people who change the direction to varying degrees of modern popular music. So stick with us as we go through the Rolling Stone top 100 artists of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time. And we will begin with 100. So we're at 100 is Lee Perry. Lee Scratch Perry. He was I knew this name. He was a Jamaican record producer, songwriter, singer. Go on to YouTube and check him out. He's very interesting. I've never heard anything quite like him before. Everything's combined in there. Number 99, Curtis Mayfield, the guy who wrote the soundtrack to Superfly, which is up there with Shaft. It's really good. Singer-songwriter, I think he was with the Impressions. Guitarist, they used to call him the Gentle Genius. Had a lot of gospel influence going on. Number 98, Roxy Music. Oh, love Roxy Music. Began, I think, about 1970. They were really glam rockers with maybe one foot toward punk and a lot of a new wave vibe. Brian Eno was with them, so you get some cred there. Roxy Music was great. Number 97, Diana Ross and the Supremes. They were the most commercially successful of Motown's acts and the most successful American vocal group ever. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. They were everywhere in the mid to late 60s. You couldn't escape them. Diana Ross and the Supremes. Number 96, Martha and the Vandellas. Yeah, she was great. Another Motown girl group, not as polished as the Supremes. I always thought they were grittier and they probably would have been happier on Stax Records. Number 95, Leonard Skinner. Did you know they were formed back in 1964? I didn't know they were that old. In Jacksonville, Florida. Not really swamp rock, kind of southern country. Still around.
94. We got 9 Inch Nails. What to say about Trent Reznor, who actually could play quite a few horn instruments. Did you know that?
No.
His music is known as industrial. I believe Josh Freese is back as his drummer, which was kind of interesting because the drummer of 9 Inch Nails left to go for Foo Fighters. And,
Weird.
And
Yeah.
the Foo Fighters fired Josh Freese, which I was happy because I wasn't really a big fan of Josh Freese. You can never replace Taylor. And yeah, so 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, just genius when it comes to music.
Yeah, really good. 93, Booker T and the MGs. Well, essentially an instrumental band and formed in Memphis, Tennessee, 1962. They backed people like Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, Bill Withers, Sam and Dave, Rufus Thomas, Albert King, and of course they had the big hit Green Onions.
In 92, we got GNR, better known as Guns N' Roses. Obviously, the three main staples are always going to be Duff, Slash, and Axl. They came around in the 80s. They only released not many albums, to be honest, because they had like a hiatus from 93 to like 2008.
I know.
It was the most strangest thing. You know, God love Duff because he's just like the one that keeps the glue together with the band. But the main three, like I said, are Axl, Duff, and Slash. There was Izzy Stradlin, Dizzy was there, and they had Steve Adler, Matt Sorum. God knows who the new drummer, Steve Ferrara, was supposed to be the new drummer right now. So they've been around a long time, formed in Los Angeles, and they're Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bound.
No,
They're in.
Good
They're
for
in.
them.
They're
Good for
in.
them. 3-2. 91, Rick Nelson. In 1957, he began a long and successful career as a popular recording artist. He sure did. Bob Dylan said, quote, he sang his songs calm and steady, like he was in the middle of a storm, men hurling past him. His voice was sort of mysterious and made you fall into a certain mood. That's really good. Yeah, he was like that. He has some great songs.
And he's
too.
the one that has the twin boys.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're not Willie Nelson's kids. No. Well, because I didn't know, right?
No. That's cool. Gunner and something. Yeah.
they
Really
were-
blonde.
Yeah, they used to have long hair. I saw him recently in an interview, and they have shorter hair than me now, which I feel kind of honored. Number 90, Carlos Santana.
Oh, yeah.
Well, was he the one that did originally "She's Not There"? Was he the one that originally did that,
Yeah,
or was it the Zombies?
It was the Zombies. He had Black Magic Woman.
But he also did "She's Not There." Listen, what to say about Carlos Santana? He is an excellent guitarist. His musicianship is top notch.
True.
Excellent performer. I know a few of his songs. I've seen him perform live. He doesn't sing much, really.
No, he's not. He doesn't sing at all or anything.
You know, but there's a lot of his collaboration albums that he did with will.i.am, Steve Tyler, Chad Kroeger, even
True,
Rob Thomas,
true.
Michelle Branch. Fantastic. Definitely, I think he's in the Hall of Fame. If he's not, then he should be.
Yeah, I mean, he's at Woodstock and he's still around. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And 89 brings in the Yardbirds. The Yardbirds were an English rock band formed in London 1963, and it started the careers of three guys, or you might know them, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page. Enough said about
David
the
Crosby?
Yeah.
It was like the farm. You know, in baseball, it's like, well,
I
I'm
know.
sending it back to the farm. It was like the farm for musicians, man.
I know. You got three guys, the best rock guitar. Okay. Number 88, they put Miles Davis. I don't know what Miles Davis is doing on a rock and roll list, but I'm okay. I can live with it. His name was Miles Dewey Davis III. Yeah, hugely influential guy in jazz. I just think it's a little bit of a stretch to put him on, you know, beside Leonard Skinner and Nine Inch Nails. 87, Graham Parsons. The Cosmic Cowboys, they say, member of the Flying Burrito Brothers and the Byrds, highly influential. No Graham Parsons, no Eagles. If you're interested, check out Serious Rock Talk Crime. There's an episode devoted to Graham Parsons.
Tupac Shakur at number 86. A lot of videos have resurfaced that he is alive. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
They
Really?
apparently they had this video with Snoop Dogg. It's all over TikTok. And, you know, if you start to Google it, you're just going down this dark rabbit hole. I don't know. It would be nice, but I don't think so. The poor guy has been gone long.
Yeah,
long,
really.
long gone. Listen, he was developed by Dr. Dre, produced by him. His lyrical rhyming, his writing was way advanced. He was far advanced. It's a shame that we lost such a good talent like this because his music and his writing skills were just fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, he's at number 86. 85, obviously a band that's true and close to my heart, due courtesy of Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, formed in about, I believe, 68 by Ozzy Osbourne and Tony Iommi. Both of them formed it. They initially wanted to call the band Earth, I believe. That was the name.
That sounds like the time, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to call it Earth, and then they ended up seeing a movie, which was a thriller movie, horror movie called Black Sabbath, and then boom, they came up with this name, and here we are, the first album. If you ever listen to the first album of Black Sabbath, it's very like, you know, very deep and dark, and that's what they were aiming for. So listen, yeah, basically Black Sabbath, they had two singers that are worth mentioning. It was obviously Ozzy Osbourne and Ronnie James Dio.
Sure.
But everyone knows Ozzy was the man. 84, James Taylor.
Good folk singer from the 60s. You know, he was signed by Apple Records. Who knew that, right?
Talented individual.
Talented guy. He's still around. Yeah, and I think George Harrison lifted a line called Something in the Way She Moves. That's right. That was from a James Taylor song.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
83, NWA. Well, we all know what that stands for, but hey, it was formed by Dr. Dre and DJ Yella. People always forget about DJ Yella. And obviously, Ice Cube made his way and was helped with Dre and Eazy-E and MC Ren. And they were basically gangster rap. And a lot of people didn't understand why they were so mad and angry and why they had disrespect for certain authority. Well, it wasn't a disrespect. Is that they were saying, listen, we're in South Compton. We're just reporting the news, what the media is not telling you what's going on around here. And it all related to the experiences of violence and the gangs and
right.
the whole, the feuds between all that. And listen, let's be realistically, Dre created the beats, Eazy-E had the voice, and Ice Cube just knew how to write songs.
Right.
Plain and simple. Again, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they belong there. There is a purpose for them. 82, Eminem. Well, geez, funny enough, founded by Dr. Dre. Yeah, Dre has been around this already three times.
It's been around a long time.
It's been a long time. So I love Dr. Dre. We thank you for Eminem. For all the Gen Zs out there that want to try to cancel Eminem, that didn't work out too well. I did it. He beats to his own drum. He knows how to write. He knows how to rap. He knows how to produce. He is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the influential category.
Is he still releasing stuff?
He did release his last song was called Houdini, so that did pretty good.
Yeah.
It was basically just kind of a mock at today's world of how it is, which is kind of cool. And then 81, Ian.
81, the Drifters. They were formed in 1959. According to Rolling Stone magazine, the Drifters were the least stable of the great vocal groups. Yeah, they had up to 60 musicians who cycled through the Drifters. But for the original group, they had songs like There Goes My Baby, Save the Last Dance from Me, and Under the Boardwalk. Great songs. So that's the Drifters, number 81.
80, Elvis Costello. Declan McManus? Declan McManus. New wave singer. And what I know about Declan McManus, he knows how to play the guitar. He's married to Diana Krall. And the song Veronica was written about his grandmother.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Veronica. And that's really...
You gotta admit, he's slappable.
Eh?
I mean, he's slappable.
Yeah, he is. I don't... Ian and I would joke around about this. Like, yeah, he's talented.
He's talented.
But Ian's like, why is he here?
Yeah, that's good enough. 79, the Four Tops. Okay, another great Motown vocal group. Had some hits. Their contemporary would be kind of like the Temptations. Not quite as flashy as the Temps. Four Tops, solid. 78, the Stooges. What an incredibly influential band. Formed in Ann Arbor, Michigan in 1967. Who knew that? They go so far back. So all the peace and love stuff's going on in Haight-Ashbury. And you got Iggy Pop and the Stooges. It's been said, no Iggy, no punk. There's a direct line. Talk about influence. What's 77?
77 is one of my all-time favorite bands, the Beastie Boys, originally formed in 79 as the Young Aborigines. And this is a band that knew how to morph with the times of music. Obviously, they're from, I believe, Brooklyn, and they have always went from, they started off as heavy metal, and then they went into like rap, metal, alternative, hip-hop. So whatever the flow was, they pretty well kept up with keep up with the Joneses, right?
Yeah.
That's the old saying, or as they would say on Fresh Fruits of Bel-Air, let's keep up with the Jetsons. So they always were ahead of their time, I felt. They ended up being a prominent trio, and they went all the way up until 2012 when, unfortunately, Adam Yaw had passed away. So they had great hits like Fight for Your Right to Party,
Everybody
No
knew
Sleep
that
Till
one, yeah.
Brooklyn, Sabotage. Listen, you want to have music to work out to, you want to have music that you just want to drive and try to get a speeding ticket, Beastie Boys is your go-to. 76, Ian?
The Shirelles. They were a girl group formed in New Jersey, 1957. They're credited with launching the girl group genre. I think they did. After them, there were a lot of girl groups. Had a big hit with Carole King's Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow. 75 is, I think, the Eagles.
Formed in Los Angeles, which kind of shocked me because they sound like Southern rock.
I know. I know. It's true. They're really Laurel Canyon guys, and they were so big in the 70s. I've been telling Kennedy here, in the 70s, you could not walk into a party without Hotel California or Rumors playing. Everybody had it, and it's an amazing album.
So, like Ian said, Graham Parsons had something to do with them being formed.
He sure did.
And Don Felder was another one.
Yeah.
Was Peter Green part of it? Was that Fleetwood Mac?
That's Fleetwood Mac.
Sorry. And then obviously the legendary Don Henley, and then they had Randy Meisner, who had passed away not too long ago.
Right.
Then Timothy Schmidt took over for Randy Meisner. Vince Gill is there now.
Who's great. Vince Gill is
Great voice.
Wow, he can play almost any instrument and a voice like an angel.
Deacon Fry is now
Right.
Glenn's son, is because we lost Glenn, unfortunately.
I know.
So the Eagles, I saw them live, and let me tell you, they did not disappoint. My spouse saw them 3 times.
Oh, she's really into them, man.
Well, her dad was big into the Eagles, so she got to see them twice with him and then once with me. And let me tell you, they put on a hell of a show. And Don Henley, he is a perfectionist.
Yeah, he is.
Everything has to be perfect. That's okay.
He's a difficult guy, but I don't sing with him.
And Joe Walsh is a good guitarist.
Yeah, he is. If you can he's such a goofball. If you can tolerate that. 74, Hank Williams. Okay, talk about influence. Hank Williams, early pioneer of country music. He is so profoundly influential in a way they're still imitating or mimicking, what do you want to say? Hank Williams. He had amazing songs. Your Cheating Heart, Hey Good Looking, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. There's a long list, and he died young. He was great. 73 is who?
73 is Radiohead. The main name I know is Tom York.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
I believe they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He snubbed the invitation because
That's
they
right.
didn't want to go.
That's right.
They got great songs. Okay, Computer, Pablo Honey. Those are the albums. Kid
right.
A, Amnesia. That was like listed one of their top albums. But the song Creep in particular is probably one of my favorite songs. It's a good drum beat to play to. I learned that with my teacher Charles. He taught me that song. But the story behind the song Creep with that whole guitar distortion.
Yeah.
Apparently he did it on purpose to see if he could ruin the song, and it turned out to be that accidental.
That made the song.
That's right. So good on Tom York for being facetious.
I know. And just kind of going with it.
And it went with it. 72, AC/DC. What can I say? Listen, they've been around since 74. That's right. Bon Scott was the second singer. Mark Evans was the first. But
Is that right?
He was
Bon
stage
was
fright.
second.
Bon was a stagehand. And he was also like driving, I believe, like their stuff for roadie.
So what happened to the first guy?
He had stage fright. He couldn't do it.
Oh, what a drag.
So anyways, Bon Scott fills in. 74 till 80, they had about 6 albums under Bon Scott, and unfortunately passed away with alcohol poisoning, and it's sad. Yeah. And Brian Johnson took over, who was with a band called Geordie, and Brian has pretty well held the band together for 45 years.
Oh, they have quite a up and down history, that band.
They do, and good on them. Albums like Back in Black.
Well, yeah,
is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it is.
Highway to Hell, another masterpiece. Let There Be Rock. Listen, if you have their major classics, they'll be quite happy that you're still listening to it.
Well, 71, Frank Zappa. One of my close friends loves Frank Zappa. I'll be transparent. I cannot tolerate Frank Zappa.
I don't get him.
I don't find him funny. I find him just dreadful. But I recognize he was very clever and he could write songs. He conducted orchestras. He acted a bit. He made some films. He was an activist. And he helped a lot of people up the ladder. But I don't know what it is about Frank Zappa. I'm sorry. I'm just going to come clean with it.
Next, we got The Police. Roxanne originally was a foursome, and then they became a trio.
And not many people know that.
Not many people know that. So Andy Summers was actually supposed to be the rhythm guitarist, and then the other guy left.
Oh, interesting.
And then he became the lead. Stuart Copeland and Sting, basically Gordon Sumner, didn't
Yeah.
like each other. They
No,
had
I know.
a little bit of hatred towards
It
each other.
still exists.
It still exists, and I believe Copeland admitted that whenever they would perform on stage, he would fix his crash cymbal to cover Sting, that we wouldn't have to see him. Great drummer, by the way.
Yeah, you like him.
I do. And they went from, 77 to about 86, and they got, 6, 7 albums?
Something like that.
That's not bad. In that short
It's
run.
pretty good. They had a short run. They were set up to be famous. Do, da, da.
Are they reggae-ish?
They were kind of faux reggae.
Okay.
A bit new wave. One other one of Copeland's quotes is he said, "Sting was born arrogant." That's a great line.
Is he far off?
He was born arrogant. I mean, you don't get better than that.
Hey, Copeland's a great guy, man. A lot of drummers admire him.
Once, this is a few podcasts ago, but you were mentioning some obscure album you had of his.
Yeah, it's called Clarke Kent. That's his moniker, his alter ego, and it's basically like a ska punk album. Not many people would know about it unless you're into drums or a student of drums, or like myself, drumming now for 5 years. When I had initially got that album, I had sent it to a couple of my friends and my drum teacher Charles. It was Stuart Copeland. It was a great album. That was the first thing he said to me. He knew right off the bat, right?
Nice, yeah.
So yeah,
Guy's in the know.
Charles is in the know, baby. He's in the know.
All right, 69, Carl Perkins, yeah, the guy who wrote Blue Suede Shoes, and I think he got in some kind of accident, and then Elvis Presley made it a hit. Yeah, one of the original rockabilly artists. I always got the feeling that Carl Perkins was just shy, and he never attained the heights of other rockabilly guys, but the Beatles loved him. They worshipped him. 68, Jackie Wilson. Not many people know Jackie Wilson. He was a great performer. They used to call him Mr. Excitement. He was a really good live show. Like, he used to sweat profusely, kind of a version of James Brown. And it didn't end well for him, but if you're interested in rock and roll, look him up. One of the seminal figures.
The Temptations.
Oh, the Motown guys.
Yes, Ian. They're the one that said sugar. What is it?
No, they did. I know you want to leave me.
Ian, you fill this one in for me.
They were great. The Temps, they all wore the same suit for a while. They all danced the same. They were just a great Motown band. Check out the Temptations' greatest hits.
Cream, number 66.
Wow.
First supergroup ever, really.
Really? I think
Eric
so.
Clapton, Ginger Baker, and who's the other guy?
I forget his name.
Jack Bruce? No.
Yeah,
It's not Jack Bruce. Is it Jack Bruce? No,
It's
not
Jack Bruce.
It's not Jack Bruce. I don't remember now. This is terrible.
But they were a power trio, yeah, and they were on Atlantic Records, and they had In the White Room and Sunshine of Your Love. It was kind of pretentious. They called themselves Cream because they felt they were
Cream of the
creme de la
crop.
creme. Yeah,
Exactly.
And I think that, as Clapton said, and by the second year, they were just kind of trying to outperform each other and not really pay attention to the crowd. I don't know. Disraeli Gears was a pretty good album, but I always thought Cream was just an odd. I don't know if it works as a band. I think the three really talented, and as Kenny can attest, Ginger Baker was an amazing drummer.
Cream to me is like Canada's version of Rush.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because I'm going on musicianship,
yeah, they're really good musicians.
and listen, Clapton's in the Hall of Fame 3 times.
Oh yeah, I mean he can.
Under Cream himself and Derek and the Dominoes.
Oh sure, what a great band Derek did. Al Green, number 65. I should say the Reverend Al Green. Yeah, great singer, great writer. He had the songs like Tired of Being Alone, I'm Still in Love with You, Love and Happiness, Take Me to the River, and of course Let's Stay Together, a big hit for Tina Turner. This is all in the 70s. And he's a preacher, has his own church. Influential guy. 1964 was the Kinks. 64, yeah. Really, Ray and Dave Davis. And I was told by somebody to know that it's not Davies, it's Davis. Okay. They were, who knows, this is the pronunciation. They were a British invasion band. They had hits like You Really Got Me and Lola. Really, Ray Davis is a really strong songwriter. Number 63, Phil Spector. I'm not going to get into the dark stuff. He was a great record producer.
He's going to be in the top 5.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
And when you produce people like the Beatles and John Lennon, I mean, you just creme de la creme. He invented something called the Wall of Sound. I love the Wall of Sound. Check out some of Phil Spector's best albums with the Wall of Sound.
The Let It Be Naked album is supposed to be
I know, because McCartney had a little hissy fit. He had a hissy fit, and it's because he didn't like the fact that Phil was brought in for that. Phil Spector saved that album.
Which one? The naked
the original?
Or the original.
No,
Okay,
the
yeah.
naked. He stripped all the strings out. Sometimes McCartney's just busy. You know what I mean?
It's a guy that Ian sometimes wants to give a good smack across
Yeah,
the
he
head.
is so slappable sometimes. He's not quite as, googly googly as he pretends. 62, Etta James. She had a great voice, and she wrote some great songs. And she kind of bridged R&B and rock and roll. Etta James was wonderful.
Tina Turner. You know what?
Turner.
What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. Listen, I didn't even know when she had passed away. She was in her 80s.
I know.
She looked fantastic. Yeah. She always maintained her composure. She always maintained her look, her style, her voice. Tina Turner is got to be one of those rock divas that's just awesome. Her album, Private Dancer, is just a classic.
It's flawless, yeah.
It is. Her theme song for Mad Max, the original Mad Max with Mel Gibson, like
Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh
yeah.
my God! Like, this is just classic stuff that you can't get anymore. And her stuff with Ike and Tina,
Yeah.
you know, the originals of Proud Mary. They did
Proud Mary, yeah.
So, Tina Turner, thank you for
Yeah, thank you, Tina.
Thank you, because she was awesome. She did a duet with Bryan Adams. It's Only Love.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
Right. Didn't he write that for her or something? There was a story behind that.
He did.
You would know.
He wrote it.
Yeah.
And he did write that piece for her.
That's what I thought.
And she also did, by the way, for the Italian listeners out there, she did something with Eros Ramazzotti.
In Italian? Or?
She did the English portion.
This number 60, Joni Mitchell, the ultimate singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and pretty good painter. Very influential in the late 60s folk scene. She had very strange tunings and chord progressions, and her work became so personal. I have the album Blue. It's an unbelievable album. It's like a confession. It's just really good. And I have Court and Spark, too, with some hits on it. She got into pop, jazz, rock. Very gifted. She had a stroke a while back, and it looked like she was going nowhere, but she managed to get some recovery, and I don't know if she's touring, but she does perform occasionally. Number 59, Louis Jordan. Yeah, he's one of those guys. I'm surprised he's on here. I think of him more as a jazz guy than a rock and roll guy. But they're right. Rolling Stone in that it does kind of bridge the genre. 58, Les Sex Pistols.
The Pistols with Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious. Listen, I believe they had one album.
Pretty well.
Never mind the Bullocks. Here's
Yeah.
the Sex Pistols. It's unlistenable, but you have to have it in your collection.
I know.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
But I don't have it in my collection.
I don't, because when do you listen to it? Alone? No. At a party? No.
When I'm ready to go fight my neighborhood? Maybe.
Maybe.
Am I drunk?
I can't get that drunk and put a record on. So I don't. Hey, super influential.
Yes.
But unlistenable. Unlike number 57.
57? Ah. Okay, listen. The boys of Beantown, and half of them are from Yonkers, which is kind of funny. And one of the original members was from France.
Really?
Yeah,
Good
I forget
trivia.
his. Yeah,
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith is. Listen, I love Aerosmith, and they probably squeeze into my top 10 bands just because.
For sure.
Because I grew up to them. I grew up to them. Look, Steve Tyler, Joe Perry, Joey Kramer, Brad Whitford, Tom Hamilton. They're great, and they have. I don't think. All the albums they have, I think maybe like 7 are solid. And there was a period of time, and Ian could attest to this because he was there.
I was there.
Aerosmith was not that good. And I always say, in 86, Run DMC helped revive their career.
True.
And then they had Permanent Vacation, Pump, and Get a Grip, and that is back-to-back-to-back albums. That is one of the bands out there that had 3 solid back-to-back-to-back albums. So this is where I got more into them, because that was the era I grew up in, and that collaboration of Walk This Way was a fantastic song. And listen, Run DMC saved them. They saved them.
I believe that. Plus, they had great videos, and you and I have spoken about this. Very rare, extremely rare, like hen's teeth, will you find a band that has a second life like that.
They got one.
That I know that doesn't happen. Now and then a performer might, like Van Morrison or something. No, bands, when they go, especially these guys are real druggies, and they got off drugs and came back. So
They got a second life.
number 56, Parliament Funkadelic, headed up by a guy named George Clinton. I don't even know what George Clinton does. I don't know if he sings. I think he's just an organizer. No one knows what he does.
I mix him up with Nile Rodgers for some odd reason because they both have
Yeah.
the braids.
They have the braids. He jumps around.
What does he do?
What does he do? I don't know what does he write. They have an album called Maggot Brain, released since 1971. About a year ago, I was speaking to the owner of a vinyl shop, and he said he can't keep it in stock. That young people love Maggot Brain. I don't know. He said if I see it, buy it because it's very rare. People snap it up. Number 55, The Grateful Dead, who I saw once over in Copenhagen. Yeah, they combined a lot of genres: rock, blues, jazz, folk, country, bluegrass, reggae. They did everything, and they were known for their 3-hour doodling improvisation.
I just don't get them.
Well, they were part of the 60s in San Francisco. They Deadheads was a name given to these guys that would follow them around in vans. This is before tailgating, and just that's the way they spent their lives. I don't know how they made money. Maybe they sold stuff to each other, but anyway, when Jerry Garcia died, that was kind of the end of the band.
54, Andre Young, better known as Dr. Dre. Listen, he invented beats, and let's just, fast forward to beats and let's go back to where it started. NWA, this was Dre's project. He made artists like Eazy-E, MC Ren, Ice Cube, Eminem, 50 Cent, Tupac Shakur, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar. Should I keep going? Death Row Records, that's his. He bought it. He bought it. It's his. This guy is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bound. If he's not in there, he should be. He, in my eyes, could do no wrong. He is a fantastic producer. Every band he's produced, he's done it with just it's perfection. He wants people that grind, and if you grind, you're in.
Do you think
hard workers?
Is he more influential than Jay-Z? Or
Jay-Z, yes, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, Jay-Z, yeah. Do you know who produced Jay-Z? I'll give you a hint. His name's Kanye West, okay? People tend to forget that. Kanye West used to be a producer. Okay?
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so he's based out of Chicago. He produced Jay-Z. So Kanye, if you don't like Kanye, you say, oh, he's crazy. Yeah, whatever. But you know what? Kanye produced Jay-Z. And now Jay-Z has produced his wife. He produced some other people. He owns, I believe, an agency for
he owns a lot of stuff.
He's the one that's responsible for organizing the Super Bowl halftime show. I just found that out recently.
I didn't know that.
This is why all this stuff is terrible. But Dre is probably one of the most influential producers out there. I put him up there, honestly, with George Martin, Mutt Lange, Rick Rubin, and Phil Spector.
Good on you.
And Quincy. Can't forget Quincy.
Quincy, no, he's an amazing
So
producer.
I put him up there. I know, I really do. I think he's up there because it's a generation from the late 80s till now. And look what he's done. And he's highly respected.
Highly influential. 53, Eric Clapton. I've said this in the show before. If all he ever did was Layla, he's still in my good books. I mean, what an incredible song, Layla. Derek and the Dominoes on his own, Cream, Yardbirds. Eric Clapton is a very gifted electric guitarist. It's just that simple. And he did write some great songs. And he's still around. He outlived almost everyone. And he's still going. So power to him. Most of us know Eric Clapton. I don't have to go on about that.
Oh, the Queen didn't.
I know, I saw that. You can't blame her, though, right?
No, but come on! You got Brian May, Jeff Beck,
I know.
Jimmy Page, and Eric Clapton. 4 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame guitarists who are from England. How can you not know who they are?
I know.
Come on!
Oh, the poor Queen.
Come on! I would have been awestruck. I'm like, oh my God, legends! I am drooling. Let me shake your hand.
The poor thing.
I would have said, hold on, selfie. Come on.
That was a good. I've seen that.
I'm so. Am I wrong to think that? Like, don't get me wrong. I missed the Queen. I thought she was awesome. She was an influential figure. But you don't know who those 4 are. Come on.
I know, it's shocking.
I'm sorry. Okay, go on.
52, Allman Brothers.
I'll give her if she doesn't know them.
Yeah, no one knows. Yeah, well, I do. Allman Brothers, formed in Jacksonville, Florida, 1969. Allman Brothers, I'll just leave you with, they were a very good band. Outstanding musicians, made some great live albums. And of course, there was Greg and Dwayne, they're both gone. They were a great band. They might be still around in some form. I should have checked up on that.
There's got to be, I thought there was 3.
Two.
Just Greg and Dwayne, that's it.
That was it, and Dwayne died really young. 51, Howlin' Wolf, great blues singer, guitarist. I know him mostly as a harmonica player. And he was kind of at the forefront of transforming acoustic Delta blues into electric Chicago blues. When you see him perform in those old clips, he was 6'3", 275 pounds. He was a very large, intimidating man, and it just works with his music. Number 50, The Band. Yeah, between 1958 and 63, they were known as the Hawks, and they backed up singer Ronnie Hawkins, who I used to see him at Ronnie Hawkins at Hawks Nest in Toronto. In the mid-'60s, they gained recognition for backing Bob Dylan on the 66 concert tour. That's when he went electric and everyone yelled at him. And of course they went on to write great songs like The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, and Robbie Robertson headed them up. They were a strong band. I think 5 Canadians and one guy from...
Four Canadians.
That's it.
Yeah, we just lost Garth Hudson, I believe.
He was the last one. He's in his 80s.
49, Elton John. Listen, if there's not one writing duo that are best friends for 50 plus years, it has to be Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
True.
I don't think you could match. I don't think this will ever happen again in our lifetime.
No.
Where you get one guy that could just play the piano and another guy could just write the lyrics, and they sit in 2 different rooms for an hour apart, and then they just collaborate stuff together.
This is
just
very weird. Yeah,
it is
very weird.
It is a good friendship. It's a good relationship. Kind of like the way Ian and I write the material for the show.
Yeah.
It just flows.
It's just like that. Same thing. I don't know who's Elton, who's Bernie. I think I'll take Bernie first. No.
That's fine. I'll be Elton. Whatever. Elton's awesome. Listen, I saw him perform. He literally goes on 3 hours straight. He does not stop the piano. Look, Rocket Man,
Benny and the Jets. No, there's
Daniel. Like,
if you want an acoustic high, pick up Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, double album, and everything is good.
What is 80s stuff? Did you like this? Like, I'm still standing.
I thought he was kind of on the run a bit.
He was kind of like grasping for straws.
Yeah, like he wanted to be.
He could have taken a break.
I think he should have taken a break.
He could have, but he's still there, man.
Whatever.
He's awesome. Next up, listen. Yes, from Hollis, Queens, Run DMC, the band that saved Aerosmith's career, and I will never stop saying that. To me, these are one of the founding fathers of hip-hop in the 80s, all right? Whenever you think of Run DMC, you think of old school rap. You think of the white Adidas. You think of those little fedoras, right? That's what you think of.
Sunglasses, yeah.
Sunglasses. Listen, this was clean rap, okay? This is music that there was no swearing required, no cussing, no dissing. This was just straight old lyric rhyming, and it was just fun, great beats. They are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thank you for putting them in there because they do belong in there. And to me, they're one of the pioneers.
Are they still with
hip-hop.
us? Or?
We just lost J Master. That's it. The other two are still around. Yes.
47, Patti Smith. When I think of Patti Smith, I think of a real New Yorkie songwriter type. But she's a poet, painter, author, photographer. And in 1975, I remember an album came out called Horses. And it really put her on the map. It was kind of punky. I think she co-wrote a song, Here Comes the Night, with Bruce Springsteen. Like a very different kind of cat.
Was she married to John McEnroe? Is that her?
No, you're thinking of that actress married McEnroe. Can you imagine anybody marrying John McEnroe?
He's a great tennis player, though.
Oh, he was.
And he would be fun to party with.
Dreadful little man. 46, Janis Joplin. Yeah, one of the iconic singers.
Gone too soon, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to go on. Everybody knows about her raspy vocals. Go to the website and go SeriousRock.crime, and we do an episode on her. She was very gifted and very troubled. So, Janis Joplin from Port Arthur, Texas. Number 45, The Byrds. Formed in Los Angeles in 1964, they underwent multiple lineups. Their frontman, Roger McGuinn, he was the sole consistent member, and for a very short time in the mid-60s, they were among the most popular groups in the world.
Number 44, we got Public Enemy, better known with Chuck D and Flavor Flav. They were obviously old school rap in the 80s, a little political. That was their format. That was their forte. But listen, they've strung up hits. Chuck D has collaborated with a lot of bands, has written some good music, has produced some good music. In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thank you again. I need to props that just because you guys know how Ian and I feel about these organizations.
Yeah.
And there's certain bands that don't make it that should have made, and then unfortunately when someone passes away, it's like, oh, we feel guilty. We should just honor them now instead of when they were in their prime. And here, finally, we at least have some bands like Public Enemy and Run DMC that have made it into this.
They made over the fence,
into this cult, I guess you want to call it.
It really is.
You get a free haircut,
Pretty well.
So, what to say about Public Enemy? Listen, they've been around forever, and you'll still see Chuck D and Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav's always wearing this clock around his neck.
I know, he's got his thing. Yeah, I've seen that.
He's too much, man. Ian, Sly and the Family Stone?
Number 43, Sly. Sylvester Stewart. Formed in San Francisco in 1966. It kind of fell apart in about 83. Poor Sly, a lot of drug use. He, in my opinion, was the best act at Woodstock. Great singer, great arranger, Sylvester Stewart. He started off as a DJ and incredibly influential. Number 42, Sir George Ivan Morrison, better known as Van Morrison. Began performing as a teenager in the 50s. He can play the guitar, harmonica, keyboard, saxophone. Became known as Van the Man, rose to presence in the mid-60s, lead singer of a band called Them. They had a big hit. He wrote it called Gloria, which every band in the 60s covered. In fact, the Doors covered them. Speaking of the Doors, number 41, the Doors, well, yeah, they formed around 65 in Los Angeles. Great band. The thing about the Doors, no one before or since sounds like the Doors, and that is very rare. It's a combination of Ray Manzarek's organ and Krieger's guitar, the great drummer, John Densmore, and kind of this eerie, creepy, dark background stuff of Jim Morrison. When Jim Morrison died, I think in 71, the Doors released 2 more albums, but without Morrison, nah. Thank you so much for staying with us over this 2-part show. And, as I think about it today, and this puts it into perspective. It really puts it, because we just covered the top 100 artists of all time. It seems to me that the music world used to be a bigger place.
The music world is still the same, Ian.
Yeah.
There's just less in it.
Nice. Yeah. Real nice. And with that, I bid you all adieu.
Au revoir.